Hey YouTube, coming at you with a viewer submitted battle in the Fantasy Cup from Nick, who's a level 2 member, and very short and sweet, they said it's a team. So, it is a team. Melmetal, Flygon, Dragapult. So, double, um, double dragon in the back. You have Melmetal, which was a steal, so if you do see a fairy in the back, you can deal with it with Melmetal. Most of the fairies you do see are like Flygon. No, sorry, jeez, I'm looking right at Flygon. Is a zoom roll. I assume, obviously I have not watched these battles, I assume Flygon is your safe swap with Sand Attack, Dragon Claw, Scorching Sands. You can deal with a lot. Let's take a look at it in action and see how it plays out. So, Galarian Wheezing is kind of an interesting one because, you're going to have Overheat potentially. But these double Iron Bashes do super effective. Are we going to commit the shield? We are going to commit the shield. Just worried about that overheat and bail here. So I would just hold off to see if they leave. And if they don't leave, I'm not in a rush because I'm not worried about the next overheat. Yes, it's super effective, but 2 times lower is not going to do much. So Flygon comes in. So we can see we're obviously kind of figuring out what's the best play here. Going for the double Iron Bash, and it does chip. Like, this is a decent move, and it comes so fast. 444, so only 8 turns to get to these moves. And look at how much damage it is putting on these Pokemon. Obviously super effective, and then just Flygon's a shadow, so maybe that's why it looks like it's doing more. But you have to throw Scorching Sands. Now, what do? Come in Astonish? Yeah. Astonish is such a hard-hitting move. Holy smokes. Gotta worry about the Dragon Claw. Dragapult seems a little glassy, so we'll shield up a Dragon Claw. We'll see what's in the back. In the back is an Azumarill. So this is rough. Got a bait. Yeah, they got a lot of shield. So this is not a bad bait. Oh, crap. First of all, they don't have a lot of shields. They have 1 shield. And they do not shield. Making the catch on Flygon. Hoping that they threw the play rough. That is still super effective. But I guess you're seeing your win con as your Dragapult here. And this time not going for the bait, thinking that we can outpace them anyways to the next move. So here comes the Shadow Ball. They shield it. Oh, jeez. You lost because you baited. Never bait. Get hit with the play rough, go down. I always do say never bait, and that's... I get it. If they had 2 shields, yeah. 1 shield is closer. Okay. Empoleon lead. Going straight superpower, and then I assume once you do the superpower, it's Flygon immediately. No, going with the Dragapult as a safe swap here. And here's the thing, like, there's not a lot of just normal typings. Like, Wigglytuff is the only one, and there's so many excuse me, so many steals in this that it's tough to use Wiggly. So Astonish, it's very unlikely that it's going to get walled. Do get the Shadow Ball off. They do end up shielding. You got to come Melmetal back into this matchup, obviously. Letting the Switch Clock come up. Throwing the double Iron Bash. Very quick, because this thing comes so fast. Super effective on the Fairy Grass. Goodbye. Out comes a Dugtrio. Superpower this into Oblivion here, because they are half steel. Melmetal is absolutely dominating here with its speed, and gonna try to get to another superpower, and do get to a superpower. Your attack is lowered, but still, this will still take out from this range. Holy smokes. I mean, not from this range. This range is like 50%, so that's not surprising. Okay, Excadrill. Instant swapping into Dragapult. Using Dragapult as a safe swap. Getting hit with a Fairy again. Whimsicott. Whimsicott's moves come pretty fast. But isn't that just a Seed Bomb? It is. And then there's a Resisted, so you will live. Does take you down to the red, though, just because these Fairy Winds are adding up so much here. Get off a Shadow Ball and flip switch just like that. Now get your Flygon on the Excadrill. They came in immediately. Like, you should be not burning your Switch Clock here. You should be coming in immediately. You have such a good matchup now. Like, that's the only thing. Burn the Switch Clock when you have to come into a bad matchup. Get in immediately when you have them switch locked. So you would have had them switch locked for longer, and you could have just sand attacked a bunch there. You do get the Wheezing in here, so grabbing the shield. Now I'm just going to go these double Iron Bashes to hit super effective on the Fairy. And they shield Is that an overheat already? It is an overheat. Going straight for the overheat, hoping, I guess, that the switch timer is desynced enough that they can get out of this sooner. I think they're maybe try and bank this move if they can. No, going straight for the overheat. Again, 2 times lowered overheat is not something I'm going to worry about, even though it's super effective. You do live, and you both instant swap, and you got to just throw the Dragon Claw. Yeah, got to throw the Dragon Claw because these Mud Slaps are adding up on you. So we're going to get this off, take it out, and can we take it down? No. Can we Thundershock down? No, we have a move anyways, so spamming this. This is what I like. This is what I like about melmetal. These double Iron Bashes come in 8, which is like the quickest you can get. So super fast. Ferrothorn, good lead. The only problem is, so you are throwing the superpower right away. And then swapping and catching the move on your dragon. Power, and they throw the thunder, that which is resisted as well. Staying in to get a couple more. Eventually coming in the Azumarill. Usually you see those bubbles being resisted, like the words, but maybe it's just a visual thing. Because bubbles are resisted on the dragon. You can easily shield and flip switch if you want, or you can just come in and Thundershock Melmetal. So going to just let this go and just come and try and get this boosted Thundershock. Now I don't think you can get all the way down before they get to a move here, yeah. And I don't think you, with Melmetal, Melmetal's kind of glossy, so I don't think it's worth taking a move unnecessarily on Melmetal. And out comes the Turtonator, and these Incinerates are resisted on Flygon. Flygon is Shadow, sorry, I'll add that in. But they're still adding up because you are just a Shadow Flygon. So these Incinerates are adding up, but able to only take 9 to the Dragon Tail. So it's a slightly faster than these. Now I got to watch out for a catch, I guess. Going to shield up the second Dragon Pulse here. I expect to catch. So we're going to go a couple sand attacks and then just take it out here. What are you playing on an Android as well? Look at that leg. And out comes the Ferrothorn. Easy takeout from this range here. I'm going to show you one of my battles in the Ultra League with Zapdos where the game screwed me over 3 different times in one game and I lost by 1 HP. I was so pissed. Okay, Azumarill, lead. I think the water neutralizes this steel, so it's neutral, yeah. So Fairy takes super effective. Look at me knowing my typings. Fairy takes super effective from steel, but water resists steel. So net neutral double Iron Bashes here. Hydro Pump would really hurt here. It is just an Ice Beam. So running Ice Beam, play rough clearly. Can you get to a move before they get to another move? No. Do you want to commit the shield or just come to Astonish? Or yeah, I'd probably just let this go and they don't even take you out. So you will keep Switch. Does Switch matter a lot with this team? I don't know how much Switch matters with this backline, honestly. So you have a Ferrothorn. Yeah, Dragapult's better because it's pure dragon as opposed to ground dragon. So I guess that's better alignment here. But when you share like the double ice weakness, you share the double fairy weakness. I don't think there's like a ton outside of those, which there are some Pokemon. There's Sandslash, there's fairies. I don't think there's a ton that like Switch matters as much here. And now Doug Trio just being able to, holy crap, Sand attack that down. Shadow on Shadow, super effective. First neutral matchup there. This could be Fire Fang, yeah. It is a Fire Fang, so coming in with your Dragon. And they're staying in and eventually make a catch on Azumarill. So really nice catch. Catching your Breaking Swipe. Maybe it lowers their attack. It does lower their attack. Not that it matters too much because the super effective move will still take you out. So getting to the Shadow Ball here. Does not take out. I think this is one where you have to shield. Yeah. When do you fight for Switch here? You fight for Switch when your lead matchup is so bad, Melmetal against a Fire Fang, Mawile, and your back line is very strong. Flygon, sand attack against Mawel. So you 100% go for that switch there. Don't. Did you just give up switch? What are we doing? Giving up switch, they get 2 moves off, and now you have... You gave up switch, they got 2 moves off on you, and you now have your melmetal aligned on their Mawel. Shields down. So now they're going to... Maybe you can get to superpower on this thing, because they're down to 0 shields. Yeah, you'll get to superpower. Now they get to move. Power punch won't take you out, though, so it's okay. Still, though, I don't know. You could easily align them. You could have easily aligned the melmetal on the Weezing and then your Flygon on their Mawel and just absolutely dominated. You still won, but I don't know about that. Okay. Doug Trio lead, so we're getting instant swap here. Jeez, these Doug Trios are adding up. Yeah. Whenever you're taking that much damage and you don't know what the back Pokemon is, it's worth the shield. And out comes into Zoomerl. So yes, we'll get to the Shadow Ball. They could match shields or just let this go. They can live, and they'll probably get to the next move before you do. You might want to throw the Breaking Swipe on CMP here, yeah. Maybe they don't know the move counts or sets or anything, and if not, yeah, so I grabbed a shield, because they don't know, right? I wouldn't know. I don't know Dragapult's thing outside of what I'm just watching now. So melmetal would be the obvious play here. So you can, and they give up switch into Doug Trio, which is interesting because you can go back to, and they shield. Could you go back to back? What are they doing? Okay, I mean, it's still early in the season, but like, what are you doing? And now with them shielded down against your Flygon, you know, if it's Sludge, you're okay. If it's Overheat, see, it's still going to do a ton of damage. And it does land and almost takes us out, but we live. And now get the Scorching Sands off. This will take them out. And then the melmetal will just take out the rest of the Zoomer with shield advantage. Your opponent played like garbage. No offense to your opponent. I like your hat or whatever you're wearing. Okay. Mud Slap user, so instant swap in Dragapult. Get met with a Powder Snow Ninetales, which is going to launch a move before you can even get to your Shadow Ball. So taking you out. I mean, at least Flygon doesn't need to see it, where it's double super effective, but this is a real rough start here. So, good news is you can basically come out with 2 moves. A double Iron Bash to take this out, and a superpower to launch at the Steel Pokemon when it comes in here. So that's exactly what's going to happen. Extra Drill comes in, getting off the superpower, and then you're going to have to instant swap into Flygon and just, they let it go. Why would they let that go? They let it go, and now it is a Flygon against a Empoleon, which looks like it legs out. I mean, it legged out. You don't know. You don't throw this. Now the game's just going to freeze for 5 seconds. So for those of you who don't know, if your opponent legs out like this, you almost never want to throw your move there because they have the potential to leg you out after. Like not your opponent. The game has a potential to leg you out after. So just be aware that's not great. Speaking about not great, save swapping a Magnezone into a Steel ground dominated meta. So they do get off a couple mirror shots, but get the full farm down. Coming out with energy. Oof. Absolutely deleted you and did not get off the Scorching Sands, which we had. Maybe you thought it was like Waterfall, but it is a Charm user, and they catch on the Excadrill. Jesus. Still letting that go and just... Honestly, I think you shield this. I think you shield this and then just out astonish and thundershock your opponent. You can also just throw the breaking swipe right away. I wouldn't even throw a shadow ball. Your opponent has to shield. Like, this is an easy bait one. Your opponent has to shield this, and you have a breaking swipe. They have 2 shields. They must shield because they only have 1 Pokemon left with like 0 health. And you have a move that actually can lower your opponent's attack. So you 100% throw breaking swipe there because they have to shield. Not that you would even get to a second one, but like I say, never bait. There's once that is an easy scenario where bait is like a must, in my opinion. Okay, a counter user, Escav, and out comes the Azumarill as expected. So here we go. Gonna launch a Shadow Ball. We'll see if this lands or not. No, they end up shielding. So that is, and we're gonna shield back. We're gonna try and outpace them or take them to the 2-1 here. You'll win CMP, so you can go 1 more here and then throw, yeah. So winning CMP, knowing that this Dragapult is going to have an easy CMP over Azumarill and dig it out. And that is huge. And a Bastiodon in the back. Holy smokes. So you have 2 options. I don't think there's any reason not to come in with melmetal after this. And just even take the super effective flamethrower. Because Flygon's your win con, right? So I would come in Flygon and because now you're taking an even resisted Stone Edge still does a ton and counters neutral here, right? So throwing the breaking this Dragon Claw, likely to grab a shield because they kind of have to, but they may just commit to the farm down here. Ooh, you're lucky you got to another move here. Because if they committed to the farm down and got you in a tricky spot here, now you got to shield this, and they bait you with the aerial ace, and now it's a race to the drill run or thundershock them down. Yeah, if this is a drill run, takes you out. You screw that matchup up real hard. This is an easy, like, this is your win con. Like, okay, yeah. Finally something I get to teach you. I guess I taught you about the baiting and when to bait, when not bait in this video. But understanding your win con. You have a Escav, which is a counter user in the front, where melmetal really does not have much play. You've got a Bastiodon, which you took down to the red, but it is loaded with energy. You have Escav, which is going to hit neutral against Flygon and super effective against melmetal. So your Flygon is your win con, right? You need Flygon to Sand Attack and Dragon Claw that before they get to the counter and stuff like that. So melmetal is useless. So basically what you need to do in this situation is come in with the melmetal into the Bastiodon, absorb the flamethrower, super effective, whatever, instant swap into Flygon, and then try and take it with Flygon over the Escav, because Escav needs like 6 or 7 counters to get to the drill run. Instead, coming and taking too much damage and then getting taken out and lost that matchup here. Okay, one more battle here. Turtonator lead, terrible lead. Going to instant swap into the Dragapult, where fire is resisted, but they're going to get to the move, and they make a nice catch on Excadrill. The thing with Excadrill is, if they let this go, which they may, you can now just out-astonish them, especially with the attack fall here, and you get to another move. Yeah, that's the only problem with Excadrill and Dugtrio. Very hard slap users, but man, they are glassy. And now it's a second lowering of the attack, so we can easily just match shields if you want. Yeah, just match shields and take switch here. So out comes the Azumarill, so we're going to get to a Shadow Ball here. You must be playing on Android. You're getting the same legs that I get. The legs and frame drops and stuff. So now back into the melmetal, where they will now get into the Turtonator, which you get your Sand Attack user on. I definitely shield up a Dragon move here. So I throw the move. Yeah. I would throw the move to not take a super effective move and get taken out here, because you could have grabbed that shield or taken them out. And you'll get to a move here, so it's fine, but You didn't need to take all this extra damage for no reason. Again, I don't count, but I've got an internal clock in my head saying when you need to throw and live with 1 HP, and then they take you out. Yeah, you screwed up that one too. Yeah, you screwed up. I was going to say, is this a submission of straight wins? And it probably could have been if you played those last two how you should have. Throwing the move, like you got to grab shields or take them out. Even if you don't count, you got to have like that internal like, oh, it's about time this is going to happen. And then you got to know your win cons. Baiting versus, again, you won that one, but like know when to like, 95% of the time I say never bait because you either grab that shield or take it out. There's like 2 times that I potentially would bait. One is if you need to bait to land and then to land a superpower, like a harder hitting move after the shield, then it's like a 50-50 bait. Sometimes they call it, sometimes they won't. But the other time where you easily bait is they have 2 shields, 1 glossy Pokemon left. They need to use all the shields on every single move, right? So it's an easy shield on that, easy bait on that one. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for this mission. Thanks for watching. I guess this is going up on Friday, so I'll be driving to Toronto probably right around now. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.